What's cracking, Jack? It's week 9 of the NFL, and you're in the jungle. We're going to break down every single game for Sunday, November 2nd, and come up with the best bet for all of them right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. We're going to break down every game in the NFL for Sunday, November 2nd, and come up with the best bet for all of them. I'm going to leave for you 2 links in the comment section. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my best NFL bet of the day for Sunday, text to your phone. Last week's play was the Patriots minus 6.5 against the Browns. Congratulations to all who purchased and cashed. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And for as low as 55 cents a day as a member, you get my full betting card sent to your phone every single morning, all sports. You also get access to our members-only Discord and a direct line to me if you like my opinion on any other bet that you're considering placing. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag is an offshore book that we've partnered with. The best thing about it, I know that some of you guys have restrictions with the states that you're in as to what books that you can use. MyBookie.ag, because it's an offshore site, you can utilize it from all 50 states. But the best thing about it is if you sign up for a new account and use promo code SILVERBACK, your first bet is insured up to $500. That means if you sign up for a new account at mybookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK, the first bet that you make, if you miss, they refund it up to $500. You've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. First game up, San Francisco at the Giants. The 49ers are minus 2.5 on the road. Over-under is set at 48.5. San Francisco coming off a brutal loss at Houston, second straight road game. And I can't think of one thing the 49ers are doing well right now as a football team. You would think with Christian McCaffrey, they're running the ball well, but they're not. They're 30th in rushing yards of 32 teams. They don't have any healthy playmakers on the outside. Their defense is decimated by injuries. Bosa and Warner being out hurt them more than any team has hurt on the defensive side of the football from any injury sustained this season. San Francisco was dead last in quarterback hits, second last in quarterback hurries, and second last in quarterback sacks. The way to beat and get to a rookie quarterback like Jackson Dart is to pressure him. San Francisco won't be able to do that. C.J. Stroud of the Texans was finally able to have a good game last week only because San Francisco couldn't get any pressure on him. The Giants will control the line of scrimmage, and Cam Scatterboo doesn't matter as much as the offensive line does. You can plug and play any running back in the NFL with a good offensive line more than you can any other position. The Giants are 2-1 at home and better in the trenches on both sides of the football. Take the G-men plus the 2.5. Chicago at Cincinnati, Bengals plus 2.5, over-under is set at 50.5. Joe Flacco is hurt, most likely out. That means we're getting the full Jake Browning experience once again. Jake Browning has a 33.5 QB rating. The only 2 quarterbacks who are lower than that are Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward. Now, the Bears' defense hasn't been perfect by any metric, but they're way better than Cincinnati, who's dead last in points allowed. The Bengals allow 31.6 points a game, dead last, and 151.9 rushing yards per game, also dead last. And the Bears' offense has been able to score 26 points against the Saints, 25 against the Commanders, 31 against the Cowboys. They're 15th in scoring right in the middle. 24 points a game, like George Costanza said, right there in the middle. Not showing off, not falling behind, baby. Lay the 2.5 with Chicago on the road. The Bengals are an absolute dumpster fire. Denver at Houston. If you like defense, baby, get your popcorn ready. This is an old-school football smash-mouth style game. The line opened up at Denver favored by 1.5, but it moved toward the Texans. They're now favored by 1.5. People are big on Houston, and money's coming in on them. It's the trendiest, the sexy play of the weekend because of how they handled the 49ers last week. But not this better, not your boy, not in the jungle. PS2, Patrick Surtain II is out for Denver, but that would matter more if C.J. Stroud had time to throw the football, but he will not. Football 101 is simple. Just the quarterback. Protect yours and get after theirs. And nobody does that better than this year's Denver Broncos. Denver has the best sack differential in NFL history at this point in the season at plus 28. Better than the 85 Bears. You have to go back to 1967 before anybody was even close to the sack differential that this Denver Broncos team has. I think there's a bit of an overreaction to the Texans over the last couple of weeks. I think it's a perfect spot for Sean Payton and Vance Joseph, their defensive coordinator. And I believe that they know at 6-2 they're an underdog against this 3-4 Texans team. Take the 1.5 with Denver. Chargers at the Titans. LA minus 9.5 on the road. Over-under is at 43.5. The Chargers got Joe Alt back last week. And man, protecting Justin Herbert's blindside makes all the difference in the world. They stomped Minnesota 37-10. And Minnesota has what's considered a good defense. Don't be afraid to lay the 9.5 with the Chargers against the worst team in the NFL. Tennessee scores just 13.8 points a game, which is dead last, and they give up 28.8 points a game, which is third last. They can't score. They can't stop a runny nose on defense, man. The Chargers should win this by at least 10 on the road. Indy at Pittsburgh. Colts minus 3.5. Over-under is set at, 50.5. This Pittsburgh defense is terrible. They're 22nd in scoring defense, 30 in first downs allowed, dead last in passing yards allowed, and 24th in yards per play allowed. The Colts are the number one scoring offense in the NFL. And Daniel Jones' new nickname, I love it, going from Danny Dimes to Indiana Jones. They score 33.8 points a game, and they do it on the ground. They're 7th in rushing yards. They do it through the air. They're 6th in passing. Indy is second in first downs and 1st in yards per play. And Indianapolis is a good team defensively. They're 6th in points allowed, allowing just 19.2 points a game. On a neutral field, taking these logos away, the Colts will be favored by 6.5 to 7.5 points. I lay the 3.5 with Indy on the road. Falcons at the Patriots. New England minus 5.5. Over-under is set at 45.5. I'd lay with New England here. The Falcons can't score unless they get Bijan Robinson going, and this New England defense is very stingy against the run. They're second best in the NFL, allowing just 76 rushing yards per game, and they don't give up points. They're 4th, allowing just 18.2 a game. The Falcons' offense has really leveled off after a hot start. They're just 28th in scoring right now, averaging 17.1 points a game. Drake May and the Patriots are one of the most underrated quarterbacks and teams in the NFL. They're 8th in scoring, 9th in passing, 5th in yards per play. I like them to beat the Falcons at least by 6 at home. Panthers at the Packers. Green Bay minus 13.5. The over-under is set at 44.5. Bryce Young is back for Carolina, and that's a good thing because Andy Dalton looked terrible against the Bills. I think this Carolina team has been undervalued this season. I'm 2-0 when I've bet on them, but this weekend I'm betting against them. Like the previous game we just discussed, the Panthers need to run the football to be able to pass the ball, and Green Bay defends the run very well. They're 3rd against the run. The Packers allow just 78.9 rushing yards per game. Green Bay's flying high after the win against the Steelers and Pittsburgh, where they made Aaron Rodgers look like a dirty worm. They outmatched Carolina in every way in this game, and I don't think this is a situation where it's a letdown spot for Green Bay. I think they continue to fly high, keep their foot on the gas pedal, and they cover the spread against the Panthers. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit minus 8.5. The over-under is set at 48.5. I think this line is short. J.J. McCarthy starting for Minnesota, and honestly, I don't know if he was that hurt. That's the reason he wasn't playing, or they were hiding him. From the time he was drafted, right, until now, I have always said I don't think he has it, and I think Minnesota knows it too. J.J. McCarthy has a passer rating of 66.7, which is dead last in the NFL. He has more interceptions than touchdowns, and I think that the Lions' defense is going to give him absolute nightmares. We all know about the Lions' offense, and they have the best point differential in the NFC at plus 64. Take the Lions to cover at home, and may God have mercy on J.J. McCarthy's soul. Jacksonville at the Raiders. Jacksonville minus 2.5. The over-under is set at 44.5. Pardon me. I can't make a case for the Raiders. They're 31st in scoring, 32nd in red zone efficiency, 31st in first downs, and they'd be dead last in those if it wasn't for a team called the Tennessee Titans. They haven't done anything good at all this season. They have 2 wins, one against Tennessee, the other against New England in a fluke outlier game. Jacksonville, however, I have seen some reasons why I believe, why I think, and why I can bet that they can beat the Raiders. They beat Kansas City, beat San Francisco, beat Houston, beat Carolina, lost to Indianapolis, the best team in the league right now, just 26-23. The Jaguars are a much better football team, and there isn't much of a home field advantage whatsoever in Las Vegas. Lay the 2.5 with Jacksonville. New Orleans at the Rams. Rams are minus 14.5. Maron, man, minus over 2 touchdowns. Over under at 44.5. Minus 2 touchdowns is a lot of points to lay. The Rams have covered the spread in 3 of their last 4 games, but this spread, this number of 14.5, they've covered just 15% of games this season. The Saints have failed to cover the spread in their last 3 games, but they've covered this number of 14.5 in 75% of their games. So what do we do in this game? It's certainly not my favorite game on the board. If you were to bet it, you degenerate you, I would buy a point. I can't back the Saints. I'd buy a point, and I'd take the Rams minus 13.5 under the key number of 14. Chiefs at the Bills. Here we go. Bills are a home underdog, plus 1.5 at home. Over under set at 52.5. I like the Chiefs on the money line. These games have historically been high scoring. Patrick Mahomes just got his weapons back, and that offense looks unstoppable. I know Isaiah Pacheco is out, but the Bills have a historically bad defense against the run, and the Chiefs can plug and play anybody into that running back spot when the offensive line is doing their thing. Josh Allen and the Bills lack the outside weapons that they previously had in these matchups before. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball against Kansas City like they have in previous, like they have their previous opponents, and I don't think they have the firepower to keep up with Kansas City's scoring. At Patrick Mahomes, he has that clutch gene, right? When it counts. If this is a 1-score game, which it probably will be, I'm betting on Mahomes, Andy Reid, Spagnuolo, and that Chiefs team over the Bills, Josh Allen, and Sean McDermott. Should be a close game, but take the Chiefs on the money line. And the last game we're looking at, Sunday Night Football, Seahawks at Washington, Seattle, minus 2.5, over-under set at 48.5. The Commanders get RG3 2.0 back. Jalen Daniels back. I think this line's short. Seattle is 5-2. They dominate the line of scrimmage in pretty much every matchup against every opponent. They're 5th in scoring and 7th in defensive scoring. The defense is incredible. They're best in the NFL defending the run. Seattle defense allows just 75.7 rushing yards per game. The Commanders' defense is old. They're the oldest defense in the league, and they're 26th against the pass, 23rd against the run, 27th in yards per play. Jaden Daniels is similar to Robert Griffin III. Once there's tape out on these guys that like to throw the ball the way they do on the run and don't pass as much on the pocket, defenses adjust. They adapt, and we've already seen that with Daniels this season. Last year, he had the best season of any rookie in the league. This season, the stats don't lie. In 5 games he's played, right? The Commanders are 2-3. Daniels has a quarterback rating of 50.9, the exact same rating as Spencer Rattler of the Saints. This line is short. Take the Seahawks minus the 2.5. Let's have a day, Jungle Nation, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.